Hey, what's up, everybody out there in the MMA Kingdom? You already know who this is, King JB. Um, gonna do my UFC 130 review. Definitely a great event in my eyes. I know a lot of people out there are saying a lot of negativity towards the event. I think it was a great event. So I'm gonna go over that. I'm gonna go over some MMA affiliates news. I'm gonna talk about the contest that we've been running. Obviously, MMA Kingdom, sponsored by MMA Madhouse. MMA Madhouse, not just that, but don't forget the contest and everybody else, sponsored by Mobsters Fight Gear. Make sure y'all mess with Mobsters Fight Gear, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely some good gear. Go check them out, Mobsters Fight Gear, on my Facebook. Anyway, now I got all that out the way. Real quick, UFC 130. As many of y'all know, it was a pretty good event. Enough of this. Basically, I'm gonna go through the undercard, and then go get up to the main draw. I know a lot of people had a lot of negative things to say about the main draw. Um, to me personally, I thought the card was great. I think the main event was great, even though we didn't see a finish. Maybe it's just because I'm a Rampage fan, but we're gonna get into that as well. All right, to start everything off, obviously, in the undercard, we started off with Renan Barreo. Sorry if I pronounced the name wrong, against Cole Escobedo. Uh, Barrio was on the 25 fight win streak going in. The UFC said it was 27, but I'm definitely pretty sure it's 25. I predicted this fight to be the fight of the night going in. It was a pretty good fight. Barreo ended up with the decision. It was pretty much easy to tell. I got to give Barreo his props. His striking was amazing. I don't know if y'all paid attention to this particular fight, but he was doing a lot of just odd striking. I'm talking about spinning back fists, flying knees. It was real fun to watch. Cole Escobedo, who's not a joke on his feet, he pretty much outstruck the whole fight. So I definitely got to say it was definitely a great fight. I don't know what you guys' opinion on the fight was. Uh, I had a lot of mixed reactions, but I thought it was great. It didn't end up being the fight of the night for me, so obviously, but it was close. It was definitely a good one. What hell of a way to start off the show, no doubt about it. Now, keeping it moving on, we had Michael McDonald. He was 12-1 fighting Chris Carriasso. Carriasso looked great in this fight with his leg kicks. I actually thought he won the fight 29-28. In the end, Michael McDonald got the split decision. A lot of boos, but at the same time, it was such a close fight, it was hard to tell. I had a lot of trouble scoring this. Uh, McDonald was basically countering everything. Carriasso was doing so good with his leg kicks, and I think it was a reach issue. He just couldn't get inside well enough. All he really could do was land the leg kicks. Um, anyways, so like I said, back to the Barreo Escobedo fight. Escobedo's now 17-7 after that loss. Definitely still, I think both of them have careers here. Now with McDonald and Carriasso, like I said, it was a great fight all the way. At this point, I even had it as my fight of the night for a long time, up until the Torres Demetrius Johnson fight, which we're going to get into that soon too. Now, Gleison Tebow. Actually, with the Michael McDonald, I did want to say I did originally pick McDonald to win that fight. I thought he would finish it though. Obviously, he did not. So keeping it moving on, obviously we got Gleison Tebow and Rafael Oliveira. This was a very good fight. And what was weird, it was great on the feet. I didn't necessarily expect it to be a striking battle as it was, but it was great. Just back and forth, in my opinion. Gleison Tebow ended up winning it with a rear naked choke in the second round. Definitely a good finish for him. I believe, without a shadow of a doubt, he's going to win submission of the night for that. The press conference should be going on right now, which I'll post a link to that for. But I definitely think T-Bow's going to probably take home the submission of the night. Next, we had Tim Boesch dropping down to middleweight to fight Kendall Grove. I'm going to say it like this. I picked Kendall Grove to pull off the submission of the night. It didn't happen that way. Tim Boesch looked amazing. Dominated with his wrestling. Dominated Kendall Grove. He ended up taking home the unanimous decision. And I got to say this about Big Tim. I did not expect him to make that cut so great and dominate like that. Kendall Grove, I believe this is going to be it for him. I think he's going to get cut. Some of you may agree with me. Some of you may not. He's 12-9. This is the UFC. Truth of it is, you can't be 12-9 in the UFC. It's just not gonna. It's just not gonna happen that way. Kendall Grove, he's exciting. I like watching him, but I think his days in the UFC are pretty much done. I say go ahead and send him to Strikeforce. Why not? You know what I mean? If not, he'll end up in Bellator or something like that. So Kendall Grove definitely isn't done. He's got a lot career ahead of him, no doubt. Keeping it moving. Spike TV fight. This was the second one. Miguel Torres and Mighty Mouse Demetrius Johnson. This was definitely the fight of the night, hands down. I picked Miguel Torres going in by decision. As I was scoring the fight, I had it a draw. I couldn't even pick. I'm talking about round 1, 10-10, round 2, 10-10, round 3, 10-10. It was so amazing of a fight. Demetrius Johnson stayed on top the whole time. But don't get it twisted. Miguel Torres was putting in work from his back. He was getting hella sweeps. I mean, he just looked real good from the bottom. His technique was far superior, and I just think that you either had to, as a judge, you either had to pick. Was it because Mighty Mouse was on top the whole time, or did you go ahead and give it to Torres for having superior technique? In the end, they gave it to Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse took the decision, actually. It was a unanimous decision, which surprised me. I figured somebody would give it to Torres. Torres drops to 39-4. He's still a legend in my book. I think he's still got a career ahead of him. But you know, against some of these wrestlers, sometimes that's hard for Torres. You know, Torres a lot of time needs to use his length and his jab with his reach. That's what he did in his last fight. Unfortunately, Mighty Mouse is just too active. They both stayed active. Fight of the night, no question. Pay them men. Definitely Dana White. Pay them motherfuckers. Now, we're going to keep it moving. Brian Stan, George Santiago. I picked Stan by knockout to get the knockout of the night going into the fight. Brian Stan did get the TKO 2-minute second round, 4 minutes in. Now, here's the thing. Jorge Santiago looked like shit. And that's just the truth. I don't know if Brian Stan is really this good or not, but Santiago didn't look any better than his last UFC stint. You know I get all this Zuffa zombie bullshit. Maybe I am. Because I'm going to tell you now, a lot of these cats that have these huge win streaks outside the UFC cannot do it in the UFC. I'll give Renan Barrio however the fuck you pronounce his name, I don't give a fuck. His props, because he continued his win streak now. But you got someone like Jorge Santiago, who's already been proven he can't make it in the UFC. And I think the same thing is going to happen with Nick Diaz when he gets there. You know, you get there, you go outside, you make a name for yourself, you come back, it's still the same story because the UFC still has the best athletes, the best fighters at each particular weight class. There's just no doubt about it. I think Gilbert Melendez would do good, Alistair Overeem would do good, and a few others, maybe even Tyrone Woodley would do good. But Jorge Santiago, I don't see what the big deal was with him. He's good. He had a solid run outside the UFC. But honestly, I think Dana White's going to do him just like he did Antonio McKee. Antonio McKee made a trip to the UFC after having a great career outside the UFC, and he got cut after one event. I think the same thing exactly is going to happen with Jorge Santiago. And it's because Dana White likes to shit on the people that perform well outside the UFC. He likes to say, "Oh yeah, they came here and couldn't even hang for one fight." I think Santiago's gone, and to be honest, he may deserve it. He looked like shit in this fight. I was very disappointed. He looked horrible in this fight. Period. He got just fucked up. He has a weak chin, and he's not one of the elite middleweights, and we just saw that shit. So bye-bye, Jorge. It's all back to the minor leagues for you. Now, Thiago Alves, Rick Story. Thiago Alves looked like shit too. And here's the thing, I'm thinking maybe this guy is just motivation isn't there. Or did he just get, lucky against Matt Hughes, or what the hell happened? Because he just doesn't look good to me anymore. He hasn't looked good to me in a long time. Since that GSP fight, Thiago Alves has looked like shit. And he did once again. Rick Story dominated this fight. I didn't see any kind of excitement, any kind of energy from Thiago Alves. I didn't see anything that told me, hey, this dude really wants to be here and make a splash. Rick Story looked good. A lot of people are putting Rick Story in their top 10 of welterweights now. I don't, because I didn't have Thiago Alves in there to begin with. I still think Dong Young Kim is above him. I think Carlos Condit's above him. Diego Sanchez is above him. But I do got to give Rick Story his props. Very good. Thiago Alves, when he's not missing weight, he's just losing fights. I'm not impressed by Thiago. I think maybe it's time for a change of scenery or maybe a change of weight class or something for him because he's just not getting it done. I mean, the Pitbull looked good at the weigh-ins. He looked vicious. Looked like he was about to kill something, but he didn't. He got his ass whooped, period. There ain't no way around it. Travis Brown, Stephen Struve, the knockout of the night. Another 4 minutes into the fight, Travis Brown landed a Superman punch that I don't know if y'all saw it, but it folded Struve back. You ever seen a 7-foot motherfucker get folded back? That shit was nuts. It was definitely one of the best knockouts of the year for me. I could definitely gotta say Travis Brown should definitely win knockout of the night. It was an amazing knockout. I want to see Travis Brown against somebody like Roy Nelson next or something like that. I think he needs to go ahead and move on up to some of the contenders. Stephen Struve, it was a great. I mean, what was Stephen Struve like 25-4 or some shit going in? But Travis Brown stays undefeated. Uh, he's definitely somebody to worry about in this heavyweight division, and he showed it tonight. Knockout power like crazy. Big ups to Travis Brown tonight. Stephen Strong got chopped down to size. Still can't believe that knockout. It was just motherfucking amazing. Just back. How you get your back broke on a knockout? That shit's nuts. All right, keeping it moving. Frank Mir and Roy Nelson. Roy Nelson actually looked fat tonight. What I mean is he gassed. It was obvious he was gassing. As a fat heavyweight myself, I was kind of disappointed. Frank Mir completely dominated this fight from the beginning to the end. Frank Mir was throwing knees like he was Anderson Silva. I mean, and landing them. I'll give Roy Nelson his props. He has hella heart, and he looked good when it comes to taking his blows. But that's about it. Big ups to Frank Mir. He's obviously going to get a big fight next. Roy Nelson, Mike Russo. That's what I want to see. Battle of the Fat Boys. Make me special referee. I want in. All right, we got 3 minutes left to the wrap up, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the main event. Rampage Hammer. Rampage, a lot of people are criticizing, but let me make something clear. You know how good he looked? You know how great it was that Matt Hamill was never even able to take him down? Rampage looked good. He was trying to get the knockout. Just Matt Hamill, for some reason, his chin is solid. Rampage was landing knees, elbows, punch. He was landing some knockout blows. I'm a little sad to not see Rampage get the finish, and I know a lot of y'all feel the same way. But let's just be real here. Matt Hamill's a tough guy. He couldn't get the takedowns on Rampage, though, and that's what I was worried about going in. I thought Matt Hamill was going to lay and pray and pick up the decision win. I'm very, very happy Rampage got the win, and I think he'll get the title shot. Rampage, I don't know if this should have been the main event. Obviously, with the injury to Edgar and Maynard, this kind of hurt UFC 130, but overall, it was a good event, top to bottom. I was glad to see it. We had an announcement that Brock Lesnar did have his surgery. He will be back in January. That's good to hear. I'm real happy to hear that. Definitely love to see Brock Lesnar out there. I know a lot of y'all are Brock Lesnar haters, but I don't see why. It's exciting to watch him fight. I love to watch Brock Lesnar fight, and so do y'all. Don't lie. Okay, but anyway, with that, that's going to wrap up UFC 130. Big ups to Rampage Jackson, Thomas Brown, a lot of you cats is out there handling business, man. I saw a lot of good shit. Travis Brown, well, I don't know why I said Thomas Brown, excuse me. But anyway, MMA Affiliates Radio this Sunday. Bloodstained Lane, John McDessie, Tyrone Woodley. Man, it's just getting bigger and bigger, and I owe it all to y'all, man. I appreciate everything y'all do. For y'all cats that's still out there that want to beef with me, let me make this clear, man. I'm a grown-ass man. I got big shit on my plate right now. I ain't trying to beef with you. It's pointless. So take you and your little radio show and your little life and do what you do, man. Sit back, watch the New England Patriots and your Celtics, and shut the fuck up. Because I got other shit I'm working with. I love the MMA Kingdom for everything y'all do. Big ups to Cody Slavinsky. Big ups to Carl Walker for helping me with my new logo. Big ups to everybody out there. Daniel Clark, Jason London, my co-host. Big ups to all you motherfuckers, man. Love y'all. Matt Hamill, I heard, by the way, there's a news flash. I've come to the understanding that Matt Hamill can now talk straight. It did happen. He took one of them uppercuts, and he now apparently has an IQ of 138. Holla at y'all, man. King JB, MMA Kingdom. Do y'all's thing. I'm out.